Hey guys, it's R Fernandez here with the LRF Group with EWM, Berkshire Hathaway. Check this out.
Good morning, everyone. It's Craig Studnicky from ISG. I'm here this morning on January 29th to present the Q4 Miami report of 2025. Actually, it's more like a year in review of 2025, especially when we compare it to previous years like 2024, 2023, and even years preceding. I think you could probably divide 2025 into two halves. As many of you know, I usually start the Miami report with headlines. And my gosh, in Q1 and Q2, even Q3 of last year, I was trying to defend Miami against some negative headlines from the media, mostly from New York, a little bit even here locally in Miami. But the tide turned in Q4. Yeah, it must be a little bit difficult on the media because even the media finally had to acquiesce to the idea that Miami is the outlier. Miami is South Florida. Miami is Fort Lauderdale. Miami is Palm Beach. We call that South Florida. Take a look at some of these headlines that we've gathered for you. The first is from the South Florida Business Journal. Now, this is a local public business publication here in South Florida that I have a lot of deep respect for. They get it right. And their headline from August was Miami beats New York for the world's top second home destination. Well, that wasn't too surprising given our wonderful weather here in South Florida, but we appreciate the nod. But then came Fox Business, same month. Florida now home to America's most expensive zip codes, leaving California in second place. I suspect that with the proposed wealth tax that will be voted on this coming November in California, that trend will probably only continue. And then Yahoo jumped on it just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, January 2026. South Florida's real estate posts the second most $10 million sales and up in history. Well, how true is that? Well, we're going to walk you through all of that. But how nice of it is this that I don't always have to defend South Florida against all the negative press? Now, they're finally starting to realize that we are, in fact, the outlier compared to almost any other real estate market in the United States. Let's talk about that headline about real estate transactions over 10 million. Take a look at this slide. We've graphed it since 2020 for you. Look at 2021. There were 415 transactions in South Florida. That's Miami-Dade County, Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, Palm Beach County. In 2021, well, that was the year of the 3% mortgage. Remember, because of everything that happened in 2020 with that dreadful virus, the U.S. Fed lowered interest rates to zero, which affected mortgage rates. Mortgage rates were trading around 3% in 2021. You had 415 trades above 10 million in that year. And then it got a little sober. Dropped a little in 2022, dropped in 2023. 2024 wasn't bad. This past year, 2025, well, more than one a day, 394. We almost beat the record of 2021. When I show you the rest of this data in the Miami report, I know you will agree with me that 2026 will shatter 2021 and will certainly break most records that were created last year. Yeah, last year. In the first half of the year, there was an awful lot of conversation about how slow things were because of high mortgage rates, because of all the wars that were happening around the world. And our newly elected president, Donald Trump, in January, February, March of last year was using the word tariff, in almost every sentence. Well, that's kind of calmed down a lot. Maybe he's just using it as a poker chip in a world poker game, because no one is as nervous anymore about that word. And more importantly, we're seeing it in the business activity, and more importantly, we're seeing it in interest rates going this way instead of that way. These were transactions in South Florida above 10 million. Let's take a look at the amount of transactions over 30 million. Yeah, the previous slide measured transactions from 10 to 30. We raised the bar. We raised the bar because the bar got raised by people moving to South Florida, mostly from all over the U.S., but clearly all of Latin America and now parts of Europe. It's called a wealth migration that has discovered South Florida since 2020. It's in its early momentum. We're going to expand on that a little bit more towards the second half of this presentation. It's not just the amount of people that are moving to South Florida. It's the kind of people, the quality of people, the profile of the people that are now moving here. These are transactions above 30 million. Again, 2021, the year again of the 3% mortgage. Not bad. But we practically doubled that in 2025. 54 transactions. Again, a combination of condos and houses above 30 million here in South Florida. Clearly a new record. Want to see above 50 million? We measured that for you too. 2021 was decent, but nothing like last year. 17 transactions above $50 million. Could be a house, could be a condo. More than likely, they're all on the water. But nevertheless, this wealth migration that's descending to South Florida is, in fact, raising the bar. And these are actual results from 2025. These are sales and closings and sales. All we did was summarize the data for you and give you an idea of where South Florida is headed, particularly in this year with rates going down.
I'm from Miami, where the sun shines bright, I'm from Miami, dancing through